Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Rebel Racing Network for the Apex E-Series Custom Racing Gear Showdown. Said it in the wrong order, and hey, love it. Glad to have y'all tonight as we are doing a little bit of road course racing tonight. So, get your right-hand turns. Y'all lean to the right a little bit. We're going to have a little special race for y'all as we're going to do a little left and right turns tonight, and it's going to be a blast. Mid-Ohio is a fantastic little racetrack, and it should put on some good racing. Expect to see a lot of off tracks, a lot of incidents, guys not be able to stay on the track, stay pointed the right way. But hey, you put oval drivers on iRacing on a road course, and all what breaks loose. But glad to have you tonight, and looking forward to a fun little race here at Mid-Ohio. And you see it in the background, a beautiful looking track, old school, got the old like Watkins Glen walls, and it's just a fun little track. You can see it right there. Kind of an interesting layout. That little hairpin there down at the bottom right going to be tough. But Lexington, Ohio, opened in 1962, got a 75,000 person capacity, and just a little over 2.25 miles tonight. So just a legendary track, a lot of fun, a lot of good racing goes on there, and tonight is going to be no different. Let's talk about the race a little bit as of course, as always, fixed setup in the Craftsman trucks. We're going to have 30 laps, a 10-lap stage, not a break, but a stage. So guys are going to get, the top 5 is going to get awarded points on lap 10. But we're not going to have a caution. Got one fast repair, and as always, you got to stay on track, which is super important. Super, super important. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into the starting grid. What do you say? Presented by Low Cash Motorsports. Starting on your pole, he is your Chuck Pegleg Pole Award winner, and that is going to be Matt Rogers. Maybe not the top of the line when it comes to oval. Definitely a great driver, but here at road courses, he is a monster. Outside of him is Garrett Kinder. Got to hurry through this. Charles Stevens Jr., Kip Easley, Tracy Passons, and Alan Nash. Chuck Pegleg Phelps and Aaron Adcock, 7th and 8th. 9th and 10th is Anthony Edgerton. And Josh Lokovitz, Willie Everingham. And we're under green, dadgummit. They only had 2 corners. My goodness, I completely missed it. Didn't realize we was going to have just 2 corners to get the action, but that was your Low Cash Motorsports starting grid. Man, we are rolling already. Thought I would get at least a pace lap out of it, but that shows what I know. But a really good start for Matt Rogers. Garrett Kinder trying to stay tight on the outside. But here comes Kip Easley down to the right side of Garrett Kinder. Garrett going to get a nice run off that corner and going to settle in second place as Matt Rogers is going to try to set sail here early on. But so far, so good. Don't see anybody running off track just yet. Just 14 drivers here today, which is a pretty nice field. And I think it'll be a lot of fun for road courses. Oh, somebody gets a little bit loose there. It looks like Kyle Roberts. Kyle Roberts in the grass. Dana Shepard. Oh, and there goes Anthony Edgerton. Gets a little piece of the grass and goes around. So already some trouble here early. I kind of jinxed him a little bit as had a little bit of trouble. Let's go back and see what happened. As we're looking at Kyle Roberts here, he's going to go down into the corner. Yeah, just gets a little bit too hot under braking, goes around, going to get a little squirrely, come back on the track, and Dana Shepard with nowhere to go. So just a little bit of damage there. on those vehicles, but should be able to keep going, and looks like they are without much issue. Up front, though, we got a battle for third place. Kip Easley tried to get around Kinder earlier, and now is under fire from Alan Nash, who just takes over that spot without really much fight from Kip at all. So don't know if Kip kind of lit those rears up already, or if he's just kind of taking it easy, which I don't think is a bad idea at all. Up front, though, Garrett Kinder starting to put a little pressure here on Matt Rogers early. One thing about this race, 30 laps is a long time here at Mid-Ohio. We're looking at about a minute and a half lap times. And so what I've heard is there won't be any stopping for fuel. So if that's the case, then we won't see any pit stops for tires for sure. It'll be unlikely. So gonna have to manage those tires. That tire management going to be extremely important as we watch. Oh, Garrett Kinder going to get right to the back bumper of Matt Rogers. You see he really gets on the brakes hard to try to avoid getting into the 96. Garrett Kinder being very aggressive early, which is no surprise to anybody. And Alan Nash starting to poke his head up. And, we got to maybe have a crash like Aaron Adcock had some sort of issue. We'll have to go back and check the replay and see exactly what happened. Aaron Adcock, early issue. Let's go look at the replay. Kinder Farm and Ranch. Goes down into the corner, gets a little bit hot on the brakes, gets a little squirrely, and gets off into the grass. And hey, he's from the south. He can handle that. Keeps his foot in it. And he is back on track, so no issue there for Aaron Adcock as he's back rolling. Up front, still a battle. The 96 has started to creep away about a car length, but Alan Nash all over the back bumper of Garrett Kinder there for that second position. So Alan Nash starting to find his legs here early. Seems to be a really fast driver and should find a little bit of speed here, not for too long. Man, I've got people running off track everywhere. Let's do a little picture-in-picture. We'll go back and see if we can see what's going on. Charles Stevens Jr. had some sort of issue. Let's go check him out. He slides off the track and able to get it back going. So a lot of issues under braking, it looks like, here early. Here we go. Battle for the lead, though, as Garrett Kinder is going to get a run on Matt Rogers. Ooh, Matt Rogers puts a hard block on the 27. Didn't want to lose too many positions there. But Garrett Kinder takes over an early lead as Matt Rogers led the first 3 laps. And so now it's getting tight here for second place. That's Matt Rogers, Alan Nash, and Kip Easley in that number 8 truck. Easily the best-looking truck on the track in that number 8 machine. Oh, Kyle Roberts and Dana Shepard, looks like they have gone around. We'll check it out on the picture-in-picture, see what happened to these drivers. Dana Shepard, oh, Kyle Roberts, Dana Shepard, they're doing some synchronized spinning. Both of them going to not hit anything. You see them just spinning. That grass is like ice. Gets a little bit loose. Alan Smith able to sneak up through there. So definitely a lot of folks on the struggle bus tonight. But hey, you put them on a road course. Most of these guys do not run road courses unless it's on this particular schedule. So, the fact that these guys are still running, I think that's really impressive, because it is really tough to get around track, especially like this. It's very fast sweeping corners. A lot of corners that require you to dart the front end of the truck, really get back on the throttle. Fun little track, I think, for these trucks for sure. Missing a lot of people here tonight. I mean, your points leader, Chris Bedwell, not here. So he's definitely missed. But a lot of these guys locked into the playoffs. Road courses doesn't appeal to just anybody. So everybody needs a night off every once in a while. Of course, it is the week of the 4th, so I hope everybody had a great vacation, time off, holiday with your family. come back for a little bit of Apex racing here on Thursday night. Speaking of Apex, want to always thank our title sponsor, Apex Sim Racing Custom Gear, ApexSimRacing.com. Go check them out. If you've got a sim rig, you want to add something to it, spice it up a little bit. ApexSimRacing.com is where you want to go. But what are we looking at? We got some guys up through the field as we watch this battle for second place. But I want to highlight some guys. Willie Evernham has really made up a lot of spots here. He is up 5 from where he started. He is really on the move here early. Doing a really good job. Seems to be pretty quick. Actually running times that are very similar to the leaders. So Willie Evernham, I mean, he's looking like he's got enough speed. Now, does he have time to really get up there to the lead? He's about 13.5 seconds back from the leader. He's going to have to run a lot faster than that, but it is definitely possible as Alan Nash sets the fastest lap of the race. But Willie Evernham, man, doing a fantastic job here early. Oh, it's like Josh Lokovitz having some sort of trouble. And, oh, Aaron Adcock having trouble as well. Both these drivers go around. Let's see if we can maybe go back and find out what happened there. These guys are really struggling here on this road course. We'll go check it here on the replay. Watching Josh Lokovitz. Just going to get a little bit too hot on the throttle. Goes around. Little light kiss to the outside wall. Going to back out onto the track. And, oh, Aaron Adcock at the same time was going around. As we'll see if we can go back and see from his point of view. On board with Aaron Adcock, Josh Lokovitz spinning out right up in front of him. And Aaron just does the exact same thing at the same point of the track. Gets on the gas a little bit too hard. And both of them go around, and Aaron just struggling to get that thing back rolling. Kinder Farm and Ranch for those wreckage rewinds. Alan Nash now into the second position. Matt Rogers is falling back to third as Garrett Kinder continues to lead here with 24 laps to go. Lap 7 of 30. We're just 3 away from that stage break, so the top 5 is Garrett Kinder, Alan Nash, Matt Rogers, Kip Easley, Tracy Passons. And we got a nice little battle here for that 4th position. So these guys are going to get points for being in the top 5 if they can hang on to it for a few more laps. Looks like Anthony Edgerton has gone around. Anthony's gone around a couple times, so he's really struggling as we watch Tracy Passons try to make a move here on Kip Easley, try to get that position. It looks like Aaron Adcock has had another issue. Here on the picture-in-picture. There's only a few drivers in the track, so we're going to give you a lot of replays, a lot of what happened and what's going on with drivers. So you'll have to bear with me. It's going to feel a little chaotic, but you know, with just so few drivers, gotta show as much action as I can. So these guys running off, we'll try to give you as much as possible. Right now, watching this awesome battle, got plenty of action here as Tracy Passon's trying to make a move here on Kip Easley, but not. Oh, he's going to get to the left side of him here. Let's see if he can get him down into the corner. As they drive deep into the corner, and Tracy definitely has the preferred line, and he's going to take over that spot. So Tracy Passon takes over the 4th position. So a few drivers, man, having a great run. We'll move the battle to the front as Alan Nash slowly creeps up onto the back bumper of Garrett Kinder. And you see the difference between those two. Last lap, Alan Nash just a tad bit faster, but he is there right on the back bumper looking to take the lead and try to get this stage win as we are just 2 laps before the stage end. So he would love to get up there and get those as much stage points as he can get. Garrett Kinder, definitely a somebody that I know can drive really well pretty much everywhere. I think he doesn't really have too many tracks that he can't figure out and make happen. So it's no surprise to see Garrett Kinder get up there and lead early. But, Alan Nash, one of those that I haven't seen run on a road course, so I didn't really know how well he would do. But so far, so good for the 27. He seems to have plenty of speed as they're starting to pull away now from Matt Rogers, your pole sitter, your peg leg pole award winner. And these two are starting to pull away and try to settle it themselves here at the end of this stage. We'll keep an eye on that. Go back here to this battle between Charles Stevens Jr. and Chuck Feltz. Charles just got around Chuck. Let's go back and see how he was able to get that done. As to go look at the Kinder Farmer Ranch, not wreckage rewind, just passing rewind, I guess. Charles is going to get a run down the left side. And Chuck just gives way as they go down into turn 1, similar to what we saw earlier with Tracy passing. So move Charles Stevens back up at the 6th place. He had an issue earlier, dropped back a few spots, currently working his way back up towards the front. But this is a race of attrition. You've got to stay on the track, which we've already seen a bunch of guys have trouble with. But you also, if you run off, it's likely that you won't be the only one, and other guys will have similar issues. And hey, you run off the track, fine, get back on the horse and get back at it. And you'll gain those spots back as guys have trouble. And that's exactly what Charles Stevens is doing in that number 88 machine. As, you know what? We'll do a little bit of side-by-side. Let's watch a lap from Charles Stevens' view. And try to get an idea of what this track feels like as it goes down the front stretch. Into this left-hander that we've seen a bunch of passes being made in. Got to get the power down. Get over here on the left side so you can make this right-hand turn. It's a little bit off camber. It feels weird. You have to be careful. This is where we've seen guys get on the throttle too hard, get a little bit loose. You see trouble getting the power down, but that's it. I mean, you have to get down in the corner, get the power down. See a little bit of lift there so the truck doesn't get unsettled. Then hard on the brakes here for this right-hander here and get right up on and this is where we've seen guys spin out as they get on the gas, but he's doing a great job. See a very slow section over that hill, just letting that truck roll over the top of it, because at the top of a hill, these things get really light, and with as much power as they have to the rear wheels, it's very easy to have that truck get out from under you, which you've seen a bunch. And you see he's really having to sling that truck in here. That's where the fun is. See, off the throttle early, just slow, taking it easy. Doing a good job. So, Charles Stevens trying to move up through the field. He's 24 seconds back, but I think he's doing a dang good job recovering after that first little issue. Now up front, Alan Nash has been flirting with this 13 truck for a while. Not quite able to get to his back bumper, but they have been racing hard. They're coming up on some lap traffic, though. Hopefully Garrett can get around that pretty easily, but that's the 77 of Tony Edgerton. Tony's going to move over and just let those guys by. What a gentleman. No doubt about that. Tony is a top-notch competitor. Definitely struggling. He's had multiple off tracks, so he's just trying to get to the finish. But just watching, seeing if Alan Nash can get this 13 machine they're really just matching lap times. I mean, Garrett will be a little bit faster, and then Allen will be a little bit faster. In this lap, Allen seems to have been really strong, but just can't seem to get to the back bumper, as it looks like Willie Evernham has had some sort of issue. We'll go check it out on the picture-in-picture. We're still going to watch this lead battle and see if that changes. Of course, Garrett Kinder was your Stage 1 winner. Willie Evernham just drive off the track into that grass, able to get it back going. But Garrett Kinder is your Stage 1 winner, so congratulations to him 2 laps ago. As Matt Rogers had some sort of issue. Matt Rogers, your pole sitter in the grass. Started on the pole, and he is driving through the grass. We'll try to get a replay and see what happened to Matt. But, man, having such a good run. Let's see if we can go check it out on the Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind and see what happened to your pole sitter here. Oh, it's just going to get hard on the brakes. And, yeah, I'm not really sure. He actually comes to complete stop. Looked almost intentional, like he needed to take a break or something or fix his headset or something. I'm not sure. But, yeah, just comes to complete stop and then gets back going. So, definitely something going on there outside of just getting on the brakes too hard. But he's going to fall back to 5th position. That's the cool thing about road courses, that you can come to a complete stop and then get back going and still be in the top 5. So not the end of the world there for Matt Rogers. Oh, is Anthony Anderson going to go around again? Spins out backwards as the car's coming through. Chuck Pegleg-Felt's going to back into the grass and get it back in gear and try to get that thing back rolling. So a lot going on, man. This has been pretty fun so far. The racing has been pretty good. If they had a stage break where they had a caution or something to tighten the field up, I think that would be that would definitely add some spice to this race. But right now, I mean, Alan Nash. Oh, Alan Nash took the lead. Man, we were watching all those wrecks. We missed the pass for the lead. Let's go back and check it out. We definitely don't want to miss that. Uh-oh. Here it is on the replay, Kinder Farm and Ranch. Oh, Garrett Kinder gets just a little bit loose off that same corner we've seen guys deal with. Those rear tires got lit up, able to hang on to it, did a great job of saving it, but that's what Alan Nash needed, just waited for that opportunity for Garrett Kinder to slip up, and then he slipped right on by. So Alan Nash already out to a 2.3 second lead. So he was definitely trying to be patient behind. Oh! And the 17 goes around right in front of the leaders. And my goodness. Aaron Adcock trying to get that bad boy back going. But Aaron Adcock right in front of the leaders. A scare there if you're Alan Nash, as that happened right in front of him. Let's go back and check that again for sure. We'll go on board with Alan Nash. As you're going to see the 17 spin right in the racing line, spin across. And Alan Nash able to avoid the 17. So Aaron back going. We haven't seen anybody with any kind of major damage just yet. That's really impressive. You can see the runoff that we have here. I mean, a lot of places to run off and not get damage, which I think is, always super nice. Unlike Chicago, where you had to hit every corner just right. So here you got a lot of opportunity to make mistakes. Well, field pretty much spread out at this point on lap 14. We're just about halfway, and Alan Nash is your leader. Has worked his way up through the field and is starting to look like the favorite. He is one of the biggest movers so far as him and Kyle Roberts both have 5, as you can see right here. Dana Shepard, haven't talked about him that much other than that first little spin that he had. But, man, look, 4 position where Dana started and is having a pretty solid race from here on out. I haven't seen really much issue out of that 43 truck. So Dana doing a fantastic job in that number 43 Chevrolet. Tracy Passon still sitting there in 3rd place. Checking in on Chuck. Chuck running in the 7th position. He started there and is currently running there. But seems to be having a good time. Checking the broadcast, seeing if he's on camera. Yes, you are, Chuck. We're showing you. We'll watch a lap and see he's using an 8 shifter. You know, a lot of these guys will use paddle shifters and take the easy way out. Not Chuck, man. He's gonna do it caveman style with his H pattern shifter. We'll watch as he navigates this section, gets up to gear. Stays in the same gear, taking it easy on himself, stay in the same gear for that whole section. And we'll see him doing a great job. Very, very tough to use the H-pattern shifter, especially if you're not used to it. And so you don't see a lot of guys doing that, but that's what they do in real life. So he's going for full realism. You know, I got these driver cameras and I could see everybody on the screen. And I'll give you a little taste of what that looks like right here. And it's fun watching these guys go around the track and seeing their wheels just constantly. You'll see the tape in the middle, those yellow stripes, just going back and forth. Everybody's wheels doing the same thing as you watch. We'll watch right here. And watches, you'll see a lot of back and forth action with these wheels here. As they try to navigate this track, the trucks are getting loose. Those tires are starting to wear out here, and you're having to do all that you can do to get this thing going. And you see a lot of concentration for sure. Kyle Roberts looks the calmest, honestly, out of this group. But fun to watch these camera angles for sure. And see what these guys are dealing with. Aaron Adcock looks like maybe he might have gone off track yet again as try to get the camera back on. Well, let's go back and see exactly what happened to Aaron as he goes off track again. Kinder Farmer Ranch Records Rewind gets in a little bit too hot. Yeah, drops those left sides. But once you drop the left side, you're along for a ride, and he pulls back on track. I tell you what, for somebody who I consider a top-notch oval racer, he said himself, man, tonight we're going to be struggling. So he has not had a good night so far. But that's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. As long as you're having fun, I think that's the most important part. And I think these guys are having fun. Aaron currently in the 12th position, so he's currently a lap down as well. Everybody kind of spread out. You can see there on the left side of your screen. The closest battle is between Matt Rogers and Charles Stevens Jr. Charles continuing try to drive back up through the field after that incident. He's currently in 6th place. Trying to run down Matt Rogers, but not quite able to do that. Matt's been a little bit quicker. But that's the closest battle on the track. So we're going to try to keep tabs of everything. Alan Nash is continuing to pull away as now he's 2.7, 2.8 seconds ahead of Garrett Kinder with just a little over 12 laps to go. So this race is coming to a close pretty quickly. As it looks like we have Willie Evernham off track. He's going through the bunker there, trying to get back on track. You can see how difficult it is to navigate these vehicles. They're made. They got those slick tires. They're made to be on the asphalt. Grass, just not a whole lot of. It's Kyle Roberts as well, trying to get that thing back rolling right up against the tire barrier. And give Dana Shepard another spot there. Kyle spins, and Dana Shepard able to take over that spot. So move Dana up to the 9th position. And it's Kyle Roberts going to go off again as we're watching him. And Kyle Roberts going to go down pit road. He's like, man, I need some tires on this bad boy. This 35 has done lit him up. Come in pit, spray a little water on him. See the dogs going crazy in the background. As Kyle Roberts comes down pit road. He's got an audience now behind him. Takes a little swig of a non-alcoholic beverage, YouTube for sure. So Kyle Roberts coming down pit road to get 4 tires of fuel, get back out there and try to make up the spot. Still watching this battle between Charles Stevens and Matt Rogers, and it's not necessarily a battle just yet, as it's still about 2 seconds, but Charles is not letting him get away. They keep trading blows on lap times, and you'll see the difference. You'll see the difference in lap times there. They keep trading back and forth, but that time by, Charles Stevens a little bit quicker, so I think Charles may be able to run him down, but it's just going to be so difficult with the way these tires are. These guys are not going to pit, so you're not going to be able to come down and get fresh tires, so you need to make sure that everything is okay. You keep those rears planted under you. Kip Easley goes off track a little bit, able to get back on, no issues, but hangs on to that 4th position as Alan Nash, man, really, really great job. Up 5 spots, the biggest mover of the race. And has extended that lead out to about 4.8 seconds over Garrett Kinder, who currently runs in the 2nd position. Early leader, which you definitely can see how quickly. It doesn't take long to heat those tires up and not have any rear drive off. It's so important to be able to get the power down, get up through the gears through these straightaways. And if I know Garrett Kinder, and I definitely know Garrett, he really fought hard those first laps to get that lead and then drove the wheels off of it. Now just struggling for rear grip. Let's go on board with him. You can just tell how ginger he is being on the throttle. You see right there, just the truck gets really light. Look how loose he is. That steering wheel was all the way to about 10 o'clock on with the tape there. Really loose getting into that corner. You see right there, he's fighting the wheel. And watch that RPM gauge. If you see it just randomly go up really high, that's the traction breaking loose from underneath this car right there. Look at him, just so loose, and all that's lost time, and he is really struggling for rear grip here. Just look at it, just spinning the tires down the straightaway as he just has no more rear tires, so he's having to baby it. So about 6.4 seconds back. As long as Alan Nash is able to to keep that truck on track, I think he has got the pace and what he needs to get to the end of this thing and get that win. So right now, if you're Garrett Kendall, you just want to try to keep the pressure on the best you can. But yeah, if you're Alan Nash, you just got to keep it on the track. Just don't make any mistakes, and you'll be okay. But wouldn't take one mistake. We've seen guys drive off into the grass, not be able to catch it, and it take a good 10, 15 seconds to get back on track, and that is plenty for Garrett Kendall to get around him. Check in on our second biggest mover of the race, Dana Shepard. They're in 9th position. Got about 9.2 seconds from 8th place Josh Lukovitz, but still doing a great job. Now this battle between Charles Stevens Jr. and Matt Rogers now starting to really heat up here as Charles Stevens, as we got a bunch of drivers off track. Aaron Adcock has gone off track. Chuck Phelps has gone off track. Looks like they were able to get back on and get back going, but let's see if we can go back and find out what happened to Chuck here. Yeah, just gets under braking, not able to get the thing woed up enough. Don't want to lock the tires up. Luckily, able to slide down the track and get back on it without much issue. I've been seeing a lot of that. That's really cool to be able to see, and I've said it a few times too. But it's cool to see these guys be able to run off track. This track, not race ending. Like some places at Watkins Glen, you do that, you're dead. I mean, you're not going to be able to race anymore. But here we've seen a lot of guys be able to make mistakes, get back on track, and keep going. I think that's a sign of a pretty well-designed track, in my opinion. But here we are. I want to check in with this battle between Charles Stevens and Matt Rogers. Matt, your pole sitter, had an issue where he had to come to complete stop, and Charles has been really trying to work his way back up through the field after that early off track. And here we are, a battle for 5th. Trying to get in the top 5 is Charles Stevens, and Matt Rogers trying to keep it in the top 5 as Aaron Adcock goes off track again. It's a tough night for Aaron. He has struggled. Just 7 laps to go here, not that much longer. This race has just flown by. As we watch this battle here between these two drivers. Charles going to look down to the inside here on the front straight, get down to the inside. Matt's going to give him the room, but not going to give him the spot, that's for sure, as they come roaring down into this right-hand section. Charles is going to really drive it in deep on the outside, not able to make it happen. He's going to do a little crossover here, get to the right side. Matt still has the preferred position, I believe. So Charles Stevens is going to have to try a little bit harder. He's going to try to outbrake him here into the corner. Matt Rogers throws a tough block. Wow, what an impressive block. Very, very scary, but Charles Stevens says, fine, I'll go to the outside. And wow, what a power move by Charles Stevens with that block. Matt Rogers did everything he could there to hold him off, but Charles Stevens would not be denied, and he takes over the 5th position, move him into the top 5. And, Matt Rogers gets a little bit loose there and almost gets a little bit sideways, and then actually drops the left sides off into the grass. Well, I'm going to go on board with Aaron Adcock, somebody who has been off track more than anybody here tonight. So let's go a lap with Aaron Adcock and see what it looks like from the 17 machine, who has had a tough night. See what it's like without any rear tires left on a truck. What's it like driving out there? You see, you can't hardly get the thing power down. If there was an egg between his foot and the pedal, it's squashed. It's scrambled at the moment. You can say he's sliding the whole truck through that corner. just not, you can see the front end just will not turn. Once you slide those tires enough, you wear them out, the grip level is just gone. You flat spot the tires, you heat them up too high, you're just not going to have any grip to be able to do any kind of racing. And you can see just under braking how nervous that truck is. You see just having to give it a lot of wheel back and forth, back and forth. But that's the fun part. I mean, I don't think anybody comes in these races, you know, unless maybe you're Alan Nash and think, oh, we're gonna win this race, or we're gonna, you know, light the world on fire. You just come in here to have fun, man. And even if you're running 12th like Aaron Adcock, you still have a good time. I've seen a big smile come across his face a few times, so I know he's having a good time laughing, hanging out in Discord, and just being able to wheel these things around, throw them around, sling them like a dirt track. Look at him. Oh, Lord. Drives it in a little bit, gets that thing locked up, and he goes around Chuck right behind him. So Aaron Adcock going to go around again, as I can't tell who that is coming back on track. I think it's Josh Lokovitz, as Aaron gets back on track. But just doesn't have any tires. No, he would love to be able to have a pit stop come in and get those things swapped out. But Alan Nash, 5 laps to go. Ever since overtaking Garrett Kinder, he is now out to a 10-second lead over second place. He's already put Dana Shepard a lap down, so 9 drivers on the lead lap. Willie Evernham, Josh Lokovitz, and Chuck Phelps not far behind. But he is just out there cruising. Let's look at the difference between the two drivers. Matt Rogers has gone off track. You can see, I mean, he's still having to slow up quite a bit, but you can see that tape is not going all the way over. And you see he's still got a lot of, he does actually go all the way over, as, oh, we got a crash. Look, Alan Smith, Willie Evernham got together. See if I can go back and see what happened here on the replay. Oh, Alan Smith going to get a little bit loose, and then unfortunately, oh, Willie Evernham, we're nowhere to go. You see Aaron Adcock out there spinning in the background. I don't mean to laugh at him, but it's just funny to see a couple guys get into it, and you see Aaron back there spinning through the grass yet again. I know he can't wait to get out of Ohio. Alan Smith able to get going, though, and get back rolling. As he's going to let the leader, Alan Nash, through. So Alan having to work with a little bit of lap traffic, but everybody being pretty patient and kind to him, as he has just a few more laps left in this thing. And I think by the end of it, I think Charles Stevens may get up there and take 4th position. He was about 6 seconds back, and he has already put a big dent in this lead that Kip Easley in 4th place has over him. And so Charles, man, he is putting on a clinic on how to recover after an incident. Seems like he's got a long-winded truck for sure, as he has been able to keep that thing going straight. Made a pass over Matt Rogers and Chuck Phelps, and now is hunting down Kip Easley here at the end of this thing. And I think he might be able to do it. Last lap, he was a couple tenths faster. He's going to have to find a little bit more speed, but one mistake out of Kip, that's all he needs. And he'll find himself up into a 4th position. Somebody we hadn't talked about in a while, Tracy Passons, currently 16 seconds off the lead, but has been able to get up to 3rd place and been up there most of the race and having a good solid run. You know, that's something about these road courses. if you're in the points standing, oh my goodness, as he gets a little bit loose there. Scary moment, almost a broadcaster curse for Tracy Passons in the 53 truck. Kip Easley has gone around, and Charles Stevens was able to take over that position. Kip Easley goes off track, and the 8 truck with a little bit of damage. Let's see if we can go back and find out what exactly happened to that number 8 machine. He's going to just get into the corner too hot, does a little drift, tries to keep it from getting in the grass, and just goes around, and you see the 88 drives right by. So Kip didn't get any damage out of that, just emotional damage. So Charles Stevens just saying thank you very much. I'll take that 4th position. And Charles actually the 2nd fastest truck on the track. Alan Nash obviously the fastest, but man, Charles just putting on sort of a clinic here. When we look at the standings, you could see Chris Bedwell with the lead. Charles Stevens, though, I mean, that's somebody who needs a good race and needs a good points day, and this will definitely do it. If he can keep this thing going and get that top 5 finish, that's really, really important. Him, Kip Easley as well. I mean, they're right there next to each other in the point standing. Garrett Kinder running 2nd. He'll have a great point today as well. So if you come in here and keep the thing on track, you could actually sneak in some really nice points days. A lot of people, some people not showing up because it's a road course. Get up there, run 3rd, 4th, gain a bunch of spots. Not a bad day if you're the 13, 53, and 88. We got a battle brewing here, though, for 2nd place. Tracy Passons. Garrett Kinder had a little 2X incident, which means he got a little sideways, and now the 53 can smell blood. As we'll go back and see real quick what happened to the 13. As you see he's still sliding the back end of that truck. Just really, really, really loose there. You see that 13 truck is just sliding all over the track. But now he's going to have to hold off a hard charging Tracy Passons as Tracy can see him up there. He's now within 1.6 seconds from the 13 machine. Tony Edgerton has called it a night in that 77 truck. How much does Tracy Passons have left in the tank? How much rear tires does he have still left on this 53 truck? Does he have enough to run down this 13 machine? Oh, as Garrett's going to get loose, he's going to spin right in front of him, and that's going to be enough. The 13 goes around, and those tires have had enough. He's going to cool them off in the dirt a little bit, but that's going to give the 2nd position over to Tracy Passons as the 13 goes around. And that was the mistake that Tracy was looking for. And so now Tracy is going to have a 6-second lead over Garrett Kinder. And if Garrett's not careful, he may end up losing another spot to a hard-charging Charles Stevens Jr. But white flag is out for Alan Nash, who has run a dang near perfect race. Just got to do a few more corners, and he's going to be the winner here tonight. This has been a pretty exciting race, a quick race, just 50 minutes here on the clock, a little under an hour. We like those. But Alan Nash coming through the last few corners. Got Josh Lokovitz right up in front of him. Josh in 8th place. He is the last car on the lead lap. He's going to spin right in front of the leader. Off the track, though, Alan Nash is going to be able to get around him without any issue. A 22-second lead over Tracy Passons in 2nd place. Alan Nash can just cruise. And here he comes. The 27 comes off the corner. And Alan Nash is going to win here at Mid-Ohio as he takes the checkered flag and takes a win with a very dominant performance as we go on. Tracy Passon's going to try to take home that second place. Coming off the last corner here, going to take that quick left hand. See the checkered flag in the air. Tracy Passons takes home second. Now we got a little battle here, about 2 seconds back. Charles Stevens going to try to get to that 13 machine. Can he do it? No, he cannot. Garrett Kinder will hold on to that third position. Charles Stevens Jr. with a great recovery in fourth. Kip Easley comes across the line to complete the top 5. And Matt Rogers will be about 20 seconds back from that as he is just starting the first lap. But Alan Nash going to take the win here tonight, so congratulations to him. Just a great clinic. And a fun race. Fun watching these guys having to struggle. Anytime you can put these guys in a box where they feel like they don't feel comfortable and they don't not in their wheelhouse is a lot of fun to watch and see who can kind of shine. You know, Alan Nash is good at ovals and apparently really good at road courses. And Tracy Passons, you know, sort of a driver. You know, I don't know if I expected him to be good at road courses, but he definitely was able to do it tonight. As far as your jammed up hard luck award winner, that's going to go to Aaron Adcock. I mean, he was on the struggle bus tonight. Come home in 12th. They've seen him go off track multiple times. He's going to win the jammed up award as he just struggled to get it done. But hey, he finished the race. That's the most important thing. Get across that checkered flag. That's what you want to see. But well, all right. Well, a fantastic race. Alan Nash with the victory. And let's go ahead and take a look at the results here before we get into the post-race show. Alan Nash, Tracy Passons, Garrett Kinder, your top 3. A great run by Charles Stevens Jr. Kip Easley rounds out your top 5. Matt Rogers in 6th. Chuck Pegleg Feltz in 7th on the lead lap. First car, a lap down, Josh Lokovitz. Dana Shepard comes home in 9th. Kyle Roberts rounds out your top 10. 11th, Willie Evernham. 12th, Aaron Adcock. 13th, Alan Smith. And Tony Edgerton with that 14th position. All right, well, let's get some drivers up here. Let's talk to them. Let's see what they thought. And, you know, I'm interested to see kind of what, you know, how they felt about it. I think most of these guys will have sort of a one of those feelings of like, yeah, I don't know if I expected that much, but came into the race looking to have a lot of fun, and I definitely think they all did. I think it was a pretty fun race to watch, and interested to see what their thoughts are. Get them in the chat here. Let's go ahead and talk to your third place finisher, Garrett Kinder. Garrett, this Eddie in the booth, got a copy?
What's up, Eddie?
Man, I don't know. I'm just falling apart up here. But speaking of falling apart, let's talk about your rear tires, man. How were they feeling there at the end? How were they feeling through the race? I mean, 30 laps in a row, no pit stop. What was it like out there for that 13 machine?
You know, the first 2 laps were pretty good. Felt pretty good about those. Then I just started slipping them, and it just, as you know, it just progresses from there. At the end, I made a couple mistakes through that. I don't know the turn numbers, so don't even get me to lying to you. But it's a quick left-hander followed by 2 rights going uphill, and the whole race I was floating through there. I wasn't really using steering wheel at all. I was just kind of steering it around that corner with throttle, and came down to the last 3-4 laps, and it bit me twice. So little unfortunate there. Just ran out of talent, ran out of traction on the rears. They had to have been hotter than the sun. I didn't check the temperatures, but there was nothing left back there. I was driving on basketballs, but good time, just getting out here sliding it around. I never thought I'd get to talk to you after a road course race, but here we are.
Well, and here we are. If knowing what you know about, as hard as you were driving early, do you regret that at all? I mean, I really don't feel like you do, just because I know you.
No.
But do you wish you would have held off just a little bit to see if you had anything left in the tank on the long run?
No, not at all. Alan was going to be the class of field. I pretty much knew that. He's got a lot of road course racing background and stuff like that. So even when I was leading those laps, he was right on my bumper, and I knew he was faster, and I was just basically taking his line from him. He might have been overdriving a little bit starting out, but then he really fell into a rhythm and was just on my bumper the entire time. So, man, I knew it was going to be a battle for second place. As far as saving between me and Tracy, I mean, I just goofed. So no, I'm glad I didn't save anything. I'm glad I just went out there and sent it and had a good time with it and slid that thing around, dirt tracked around the road course. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's good to come to a road course every once in a while, something that kind of gets you out of your comfort zone. And kind of, we're on a lot of vacation stuff this week. This kind of feels like a vacation race where you come out here and just kind of fart around, see how it goes. And, to come away with a third place finish, I think you're right. I mean, that's pretty dang cool to come in here not really knowing what to expect and come away with a podium finish. So congratulations. Really fun race to watch. Able to get it home in one piece. I think that's the most important. And as always, man, who you got to thank? Sponsor shout-outs.
Man, I want to thank you up in the booth. Love going back and watching these things, and I can only assume this is going to be a good one with all everybody sliding around. I'm sure you got quite excited about the whole deal. Shout out to Michael Nash winning the race. Just came out here and just absolutely put a whooping on us. I mean, just destroyed us by, 25 seconds is what he won by. So big shout out to him. As far as sponsors go, Kinder Farm and Ranch, Ratchet Speed Shop. Been on board since day one. Great people to have around. They both already texted me and told me good job and all that stuff, and said it looked kind of fun. Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers. If you want to keep your stuff hot and keep your stuff cold for cheaper and longer than anybody else, make sure you check out Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers at bigfrig.com. Ray Page and Andy over at Wolfpack Racing. They, man, there's good dudes to know all around. Teammates over here, Poleman Motorsports, Aaron Adcock, head honcho of the team, head honcho of the league. Just all around good guy. Glad we could get two of us up in the podium, and then Michael Nash being a affiliate team member. So big shout out to all the Poleman Low Cash guys, all my short tracking guys over at Velocity. I hadn't got to race with them in quite a while. Been a little busy, but shout out to them. Man, I'm having fun. This is pretty much the only racing I do anymore is on here on Thursday nights in Apex, and I can't think of a better place to do it. Shout out to all the league sponsors. Jimmy over at Apex, Kinder Farm Ranch for, I think it's a Wreckage Rewind over here now. Roberts Leather, man, there's a whole bunch of them I can't name off the top of my head, but everybody that makes the lights come on in this place over here, I appreciate y'all.
Well, there you have it. Garrett Kinder with a third place finish. Strong run up front all race long. But let's go ahead and talk to our second place finisher. That's Tracy Passons. Tracy, Eddie in the booth, you got a copy.
Sir, can you say lucky?
There ain't no luck in this type of racing. Ask Aaron how his race went tonight and ask if luck was involved at all. Now, you got three Poleman Motorsports guys up in the top three. You got some low cash in fourth. But what happened to the boss man? This is your interview, but I got to know, what happened to you, boss man, out there? He's out there just mowing the grass all night long. What happened? Did y'all not share enough info with Aaron tonight?
Well, I think Aaron bought the track today, and I bought it last night, and I think he just got in there too hot and slid off the track, But it's a tough track.
It is a tough track, but you seem to have a pretty good feel for it as you were able to make up 3 spots in the race, which is pretty impressive. Able to take advantage of some guys making some mistakes. And it seemed like your strategy was just, hey, I'm not going to make a mistake. I may not, set the fastest lap time, but I'm dang sure not going to run off the track. Was that your strategy coming into this thing?
100%. I was hoping that I could just keep it on the track, and I felt like if I kept it on the track and drove the track and not drove me wanting to get past somebody, I felt like I would have a good finish, but I had no idea I'd come in second. I couldn't have passed Kinder because I was all over the track, and I was just going to try to make it to the end because I knew I didn't have no tires for him. When I got into the curves, I was steering the truck with the brakes, not even the steering wheel. That's how bad the tires were.
Well, and that sounds like a lot of fun, and you came home with a second place finish. So it seems like mission accomplished, staying on the track, and it paid dividends for you there, Tracy. So congratulations, second place. Who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Apex and all my team members over there at Poleman Motorsports, and you for broadcasting, doing a good job. And we appreciate you taking time out of your afternoon and doing this, because you do a good job, and I feel like we represented real well.
Well, I appreciate that. Wouldn't do it. Wouldn't be anywhere else on a Thursday night. I can promise you that. Apex is just too much fun, and I just love the people. So,
I got one thing to tell you before I get off. I talked to Alan, and Alan said I'd need to go up in the booth with Eddie. I said, well, just tell him your truck quit, and you gonna join him.
well, that would be a show. I think that'd be an interesting broadcast. Two Smiths in the booth. I think it would just explode. Right. Well, all right, Tracy. Yep. Well, man, fantastic race. Great finish. Second place, man. You can't go wrong at a road course. So congratulations, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thank you, Eddie. We'll see you, okay?
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Tracy Passenger, second place finisher. Now we get to talk to the man himself, Michael Allen Nash. Ma Nash comes home with the win. Allen, you got me? Got me?
Eddie, how's it going?
Well, man, it's going good for me, and it's going really good for you. Come home with the win tonight. Congratulations, man. I guess I didn't come into the race really knowing a lot about who's good at road courses, but, man, really set yourself apart tonight. I mean, Matt Rogers got the pole, laid down a smoking fast lap time, but after about 3 laps, it seems like your experience took over pretty much the whole field. And you had a little extra there that nobody else had. What do you think that was that was so much different that you were doing versus pretty much everybody else?
Well, I'll tell you, Eddie, I think it was an advantage to start kind of about 6th. Well, I think I started 6th and follow those guys. I struggled in qualifying. I practiced last night and struggled in driving by myself, but following those guys forced me, try to stay out of them, back up the braking points a bunch, feather the throttle all the way through the corners, never really jabbing it. And following those guys, I figured out that's the only way to stay on track. And that was really the key, I think, was following those guys for a while. I backed my braking points up at every turn, and then just never got into I don't think I was ever full throttle except on the front straight. And that really was the key, I think, was not sliding and not getting off track.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It felt like we were running pace laps the whole time. It was so slick out there. So.
We watched a lot of onboards, and we definitely saw a lot of folks just basically like a dirt race down the front stretch, just spinning the tires. RPMs would just spike down the straightaway. So it definitely seemed like it took a lot of patience to get around here. But as you're working your way through the top 5, as you got to the back bumper of Garrett Kinder, I mean, Garrett said himself, he seemed like you were just so much faster, but you were just being patient. At a track like this, how hard is it to find those passing opportunities? Some road courses just have a few. You think, well, you can pass at every turn. No, you can't. You can't always do that. And there are a couple, sometimes 2 or 3 passing zones. Where do you feel like you were waiting to make that pass, and did it work out like you wanted it?
Well, on the first few positions, really the key was turn 1. And when I drive it, I've driven this on, I am pretty familiar with the track because I like to drive it on GT3 stuff and a little IndyCar here and there. But that turn 1, you feel like you ought to be able to take that really fast. But the key to it is to brake in a straight line, get woed up, and then gently turn in and ride through it. And I was gaining a lot on several guys there. And then once I got behind Kinder, I know how hard it is to run a road course and hit your braking points when you got somebody right on your rear. And I just waited. I don't think he ever spun. I think he just slid up the track at one point and lost his momentum. And that's what worked there. I was really worried about getting out front because it's so hard to drive that track by yourself.
Well, you were able to get it done and get it done by over 25 seconds, almost 26. So,
oh, man.
Yeah, congratulations, man. Just a clinic that you put on. You definitely were the best truck here tonight, and you put on a show, and that was a lot of fun. So congratulations, Alan. And who you got to thank, man? Any sponsor shout-outs?
Well, I want to thank Apex Sim Racing for sponsoring the league. They have amazing products on their website, button boxes and such. And I want to thank Kinder Farm and Ranch for the sponsoring, and of course Aaron for putting on such a great league. I want to thank Poman Motorsports and Low Cash Motorsports. It sure is fun racing those guys. And one of the beautiful things about that is even mid race, everybody shares information to their own disadvantage to help out teammates. And I thank you, Eddie, for all. I always enjoy watching the broadcast, even when I can't make the race, because it's so entertaining.
Well, we appreciate that. And the broadcast wouldn't be good without the show, man. And that's what y'all do. So congratulations on the win, Alan. Man, just always impressed when you get these wins. You're a very clean driver, but also really fast. And tonight was your night. So congratulations. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you next week.
Hey, thanks, Eddie. See you next time.
Alan Nash, your winner here tonight, as he takes home the win. You hate to see somebody get their butt kicked like that, and it was the whole field that got the butt kicked. So, man, just an awesome show by him. You hate, people think, I hate to see somebody win by that much, but man, that's racing. That's what we come here to do, and somebody shows up and kicks your butt, that just motivates you to be better next time. So I think when we come back to another road course after people watching what Alan did tonight, maybe they can take some pointers and apply it next time they go to a road course and maybe challenge him for the win. So, but I want to thank our sponsor again, Apex Sim Racing Gear, and I want to thank the Poman Motorsports for the post-race interviews. But I want to thank Apex SimRacing.com. Go check it out for all your different button boxes and stuff like that. Of course, the main sponsor of Apex E-Series Showdown. Want to thank everybody for watching, everybody being active in chat. It definitely makes a difference when y'all are making friends in the chat, talking to each other, cheering on your drivers. They sure do love that when they go back and watch it. Check the live chat. So everybody in chat cheering your driver on, that's definitely much appreciated. But another good one. Looking forward. Just got a few more races left in the playoffs. Or not in the playoffs, but in this season, as we'll pull up the schedule here. And you see right there on the right side of your screen, Pocono and then Richmond. And then we go into the playoffs. Lucas Oil going to start us off Milwaukee Mile. And, man, we're going to get into it. And not too far away. Just seems like it's just going to be a blink of an eye. We're going to be there on 9/21, the first day of fall, to crown a champion for Season 4 here in Apex. But looking forward to it. Going to be a lot of good racing from then to now, or now to then, excuse me. Well, I better get out of here. I'll tell you, that's it sounds like it's time for me to go. I want to thank Apex Sim Racing Gear again. Thank all of our sponsors: Chuck Peg Leg, Low Cash Motorsports, Trigger Time Hard Luck Award, and then Kyle Roberts Handmade Leather Hard Charger Award, which went to Alan Nash, and we'll give it a winner in Dana Shepard, who also gained 5 spots. So. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get out of here. That was a lot of fun. We will see y'all next week. Y'all have a good one.